More than 13 billion pounds of paper towels are used each year in the United States alone. According to Durafresh, a company that produces reusable cloth alternatives to wasteful paper products, each American will use about 40 pounds of paper towels in just 1 year, which is equivalent to almost 80 rolls of paper towel. All of this non-recyclable waste ends up in our country's landfills, ultimately leading to immense amounts of pollution and environmental damage. Paper towels that you use every day come from products that have already been used and recycled multiple times, thus labeling them as a non-recyclable product. And since paper towels have already come into contact with things such as dirty surfaces and potentially even bodily fluids, they cannot be properly cleaned throughout the recycling process anyways. But according to Linda Poppenheimer, an author who researches and writes about environmental topics, non-recyclable paper products have the ability to be composted or broken down and eventually used as plant fertilizer. This means that the paper towel waste predominantly produced in bathrooms can be collected and then composted. After learning about this major issue of paper towel waste throughout the whole country, we decided to research how to make steps reducing the amount of paper waste in our own community right here on Purdue's campus. Since discarded paper towels account for millions of tons of trash every year and they cannot be recycled, we knew that there had to be another way of disposing these products. At Purdue, we can help work towards solving this issue on a smaller scale by developing a system of collecting, transporting, and then composting this paper towel waste produced in bathrooms around campus. However, before we discuss our plans and solutions, you should first understand how vastly this paper towel waste affects our environment as a whole.
Now that Violet has introduced our proposal, I will now discuss the details of the problem we are trying to solve. Paper towels are used everywhere. We use them at home, at work, and at school. In fact, according to ITU AbsorbTech, one of the largest industrial laundries in the US, if everyone in Indiana just used one paper towel every week, then 3,359 tons of paper will be discarded each year. And this is just one state in the country, and I'm sure most of us use a lot more than one piece of paper towel every week. To put this into perspective, 2 tons, which is 4,000 pounds, is equal to the average weight of your average sedan. So a lot of paper towel is being wasted, and it's filling up our landfills quickly. Paper towels are found in almost every public restroom. And at Purdue, with over 40,000 students, paper towels definitely make up a significant portion of waste on campus. Just think about all the bathrooms in every residence hall and academic building, leading to this far too familiar scene of a trash can overfilled with paper towels. Paper towels make up a good percentage of waste in landfills. As stated by the United States Environmental Protection Agency, out of the 267.8 million tons of solid waste in 2017, 25% of this was paper and paper boards. And a main reason this number was so large was because of paper towels. And in Indiana, this number even jumps up from 25% to 29%. Now, you may think that landfills are well managed and that waste is properly collected and processed. However, most communities actually leave their landfills unattended, which is leading to a multitude of negative effects on the environment, such as increased global temperatures and groundwater pollution. Toxic gases are emitted from landfills, including methane, which is naturally produced when organic waste decays. According to the EPA, methane that is produced in unmaintained landfills can trap heat from the sun 20 times more effectively than carbon dioxide, leading to really high global temperatures. In addition, toxic chemicals from waste in landfills can reach soil and contaminate groundwater. The toxins eventually find a way to freshwater waterways, harming animal and plant life and even the food we consume. Therefore, we must start reducing the amount of waste we put in landfills, and we can begin with paper towels. Now that I have discussed the issue of paper towel waste and its effects on the environment, I will now turn it over to Nick, who will discuss our proposed solution.
Our proposed solution is to set up a system for collecting, transporting, and composting the thousands of paper towels used in university bathrooms across Purdue's campus every day. The first step in that, of course, is collection. In order to help us collect the paper towels, we would put a separate collection bin in the most highly trafficked bathrooms on campus. We're including in that Armstrong, the Physics Building, Walk, and Stanley Coulter Hall, as these are buildings that see a lot of use throughout the day and are buildings that many students have class in almost every day. We decided to focus specifically on the most used bathrooms because with our limited budget, we can't afford to put a collection bin in every single bathroom on campus. It just isn't feasible. So we decided to focus only on the most frequently used ones. These bins would all have a sign mounted to the wall above them, which would state that they are for paper towels only and will be composted. Once the bins are full, the bags can be taken out like any other garbage the bathrooms produce. Then for transport. Once the bags and paper towels have been taken out of the bathroom, instead of them going straight to a dumpster, they will be picked up by a golf cart or similar vehicle and transported to a central location on Purdue's campus. We will be partnering with Purdue's grounds maintenance department to determine the best location for the compost pile and to help with transporting the paper towels to the location. We decided to partner with them for two reasons. One, they already have access to most of Purdue's grounds and are familiar with taking care of all the plants and everything that lives on Purdue's campus. And two, they are already responsible for transporting other garbage and waste produced on campus. So we felt that this fit neatly in with their current responsibilities and would be a good one to add to that. Once the paper towels arrive at the location of the compost pile, they will then be combined with plant waste routinely collected by the grounds maintenance department and sprayed with water on a regular basis to start and maintain the composting process. Right here you can see that combining paper towels with plant matter and water is what actually starts the composting process. According to the EPA, a healthy compost pile requires fresh greens or plant-based material, browns, materials such as cardboard, wood, and paper, and of course water to soften the harder materials and nourish the microbes which will break down the paper towels and plant matter. Over the course of months or years, the paper towels and plant matter will be broken down to form a nutrient-rich soil which can be used for farming and growing plants and is a cheaper alternative to typical chemical fertilizers. Composting essentially is taking all of these organic materials and allowing microbes and fungus and worms and things like that to go in there and break it down, and what you're left with at the end is a nitrogen nutrient-rich material which you can use for fertilizing. This rich compost material can then be used across campus in places like the Purdue Student Farm, the College of Agriculture's greenhouses, or on the thousands of trees and other plants across Purdue's campus. So now that you know our plan for solving the problem, Michael is going to explain how we're going to pay for it all.
Thank you, Nick. I'll take it from here. So I'm here to talk about how to put the budget into good use and be as transparent as possible so you know your money is in good hands. Our selection for collection bins is a 18-gallon recycling bin, which will cost $25 each. Like Nick had said, we have a limited amount of budget, so we decided to place these bins in the most frequently used bathrooms. That would include 8 bathrooms in Woke, 10 bathrooms in Physics Building, 10 bathrooms in Armstrong Hall, 10 bathrooms in Stanley Coulter Building. That concludes 38 bins in total, with a total cost of $950. And you may be wondering, how do we decide on these buildings? It's because we did some people counting across campus, and the traffic of these buildings seems to be the heaviest. We're also going to put up signs next to our bins that indicate these bins are exclusively for used paper towels, and the total cost for signs will be $80. That includes 48 signs, but we'll have more to spare in case we run out. And as for the rest of the money, we plan to spend them on campaigning for volunteers and renting Purdue's carts for transportation of the waste. We decided to work with Purdue's ground support. They actually provide service for renting the carts. Purdue also provides drop-off locations for material waste that scatter across the campus, and the specific location of these drop-off sites can be found on Purdue's physical facility website. and then the waste can be transported to these locations and be composted. We plan to have volunteers drive the school-owned golf carts to collect paper towels in those buildings without bins and transport them to those drop-off locations. We plan to do this 3 times a week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The budget for renting the carts is $1,800 that will support our activities for the entire school year. And then the rest of the money, which is approximately $170, is for campaigning and promotion for our idea in order to attract volunteers. In terms of potential expansion of the projects, we could also transport and compost food waste from dining halls, and food waste can actually be composted into fertilizer. And based on the information from Cornell University, we estimate that Purdue's Ross-A Stadium requires a few hundred pounds of fertilizer each year to be kept in shape for football. So that's definitely something we can work on in the future. While $3,000 may not be a lot of money, we think that our group could use it to great effect in reducing Purdue's waste and environmental footprints.
With the help of Purdue's groundskeeping crew, along with our research, we can work towards solving the overwhelming issue of paper towel waste through our system for collecting, transporting, and composting what is produced in bathrooms around campus. Now that you have all the information concerning our proposed project and what we would do with your generosity, we hope you'll consider assisting us to begin using everyday waste for a greater good. Thank you.